Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Centrus energy. This was a stock analysis request from one of the followers, and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. And in the case of this chart, we are still in this overall downtrend. From the largest time frame perspective, this is a downtrend forming. And while it isn't necessarily a 5-wave move to the downside, we still need to be aware that there is a lot of pressure for this to continue even lower. It could be considered that this is indeed a 5-wave move. Again, not my preferred interpretation. I would probably prefer this as an ABC structure or something similar anyway. And then I will be tracking here a potential uptrend to be forming, where right now the momentum is still picking up. It is still looking very good and healthy, but not necessarily to the point where I can easily track an impulse within this area. And here from the all-time low, I can quite easily be tracking an initial 5-wave move to the upside in a wave 1, and then have here a wave 2 correction, but I cannot really consider this the wave 3 itself. Not within an impulse, not in the interpretation where I would consider this a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and a 5th. Maybe if this was an ABC structure, we could also track a potential ABC structure within this movement to the upside, but even that, not looking too good. It looks much more likely for this to be something like a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and the 5th within a diagonal pattern, where this could be itself another wave 1 up, and we may have here a correction in a wave 2, and even this correction in the wave 2 is actually quite ugly, where I would probably need to consider the complete bottom of this correction all the way down here instead, or more to the sideways than down anyway. And yeah, something like an ABC movement instead, due to the actual structure that has formed internally within this area. Now, not needed. We could allow this to be a 1-2 setup as well. Doesn't matter too much in the end, because right now we are actually still focusing within this structure to the upside, where if this is to form an overall larger impulse, this is expected to form here a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and a 5th. In that case, this third wave would have serious expectations. To the point that I would actually probably need to consider that even this movement to the upside is instead a wave 1, and we would be looking here for a 1-2 setup. But yeah, we may not be getting that. It is quite an unrealistic expectation. It has very bullish implications. It is to an extreme point even, where the ideal target for a 1-2 setup from this area could be at the $10,000 level, the 138.2% extension. Now, this is just a little above the all-time high, so it is not necessarily too unrealistic in those terms, but it would actually require this movement to pick up and become even stronger. And maybe in a more relaxed fashion, where we would consider this the actual wave 2 bottom, we could be looking only here at the $5,300 level, but even that, it might actually work out as a 1-2, and then here a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and the 5th, and then another 4, 5 to actually get there. But yeah, we will need to wait and see. And the positive thing about all of these interpretations is that within all of them, we would expect to find the continuation higher. Now, let me tell you, there is a scenario that allows me to already have a more significant top in place, where this could be a larger 5-wave move to the upside already done. Although, based on the proportions, based on the structure, it is not a preferred scenario for me. So now I will be focusing solely on this area of support and the continuation higher in a 5th wave, where if we fail to hold here this area, well, it would be quite a positive indication on the structure forming. It would only leave me with a couple of options to still track continuation higher, or to be looking for a further decline, and we will be tracking that closely as we get into those scenarios. But as I was saying, right now we have a pretty simple wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, and the third wave up formed, and we are looking here for a wave 4 correction, which has the area of support between the $276.4 all the way down to the 50% retracement at the $153 level. So far, we have already gotten into the area of support, although this movement to the downside doesn't seem to be done just yet, where I could easily see an extension and a 5-wave move to be formed within this area, where this could be a wave 1 down, a wave 2 up, a third wave down, 4th wave up, and then a 5th wave still to come. If we are to look for such a potential structure, we can actually even go ahead and check if we manage to get to the ideal target within the wave 3, and we have not, so this is a positive sign that it would not form a 5-wave move to the downside, which would have bearish implications itself, at least in the shorter term, where, yeah, if we are to actually form a 5-wave move to the downside in this area, we would need to be prepared for a 3-wave correction and then continuation in another 5-wave move to the downside. Yeah, this is what would likely happen if we are to actually build such a pattern, but even then there is no confirmation that this structure is done. There is only a 3-wave move to the upside that has formed from this local low, and we need to be watching out even for a possible extension within this wave 3 itself, where, yeah, honestly, this could have been the wave A down, we get the wave B up, and then a C wave to the downside, and then we could still be in play for a 5-wave move to play out, although not needed. It is not necessarily a preferred scenario either, but I would probably still be watching out here for a potential A, B, C movement that could still be occurring in more than one ways. So I can show you here the area of resistance relevant for such an interpretation would be starting actually probably at the $278 level, because again, this could be an internal ABC structure. Yeah, this could be an internal ABC, in which case the area of resistance starts at the $278 and extends all the way up to the $354 level at the 78.6% retracement. And if this is a larger A wave down, yeah, from the actual top, it is also a very valid interpretation, and then we get a larger wave B, well, we would have a slightly adjusted area of resistance that instead starts at around the $294 level, but also extends all the way up to the $395.8 level. Yeah, this is also in line here with the 78.6% retracement, this structural resistance level that could prove more difficult to break, that caused here this entire rejection and formed even a lower low. Now, with that said, in the white interpretation, I don't need any additional lows. Technically, we could have already bottomed, although I wouldn't necessarily bet on that. Even based on the proportions, I could easily still see a further extension within this wave 4 correction, and we do still have room in this area of support to extend even lower, where normally the ideal target for the wave 4 is the 38.2% retracement. It is around the $199 level, but yeah, I would still be watching very closely and not assume any expectations right now. And again, if we break here the 50% retracement, it would be quite a bearish sign. It does still allow the possibility for continuation to higher highs, but not without some more bearish implications. Yeah, and not only that, it could also signify that a more significant top has formed, and we could be heading into a wave 2 correction that should be expected to have quite deep retracement, because the area of support would only start at the $44.6 level. Yeah, this is where the area of support would begin for a significant top that has already formed. So the 50% retracement is a critical level for me, and it would be the only interpretation that I could allow with a higher probability to be looking out for, where again, if we break this, the probabilities shift drastically to a potentially more bearish scenario that could take us into this deep area of support. And for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.